While in Slovakia, from time to time, nearly every public figure, whether worthy or unworthy, makes a point of venting their outrage over the intolerability of the historical cultural concept of the Upper Lands, and every such figure spouts a torrent of rhetoric regarding the sanctity of the Beneš decrees, strange and exceedingly interesting things are happening next door. For example, in Bucharest, located barely 1,000 kilometers east of Bratislava. In Romania's capital, the lower house of the Romanian parliament, yes, they have one there too, recently passed, quite quietly and without any fanfare or fuss, a bill proposing that Moldova join Romania. According to the bill, Moldova is to be unified as a state, but it is obvious that they do not intend to annex the Romanian-speaking part of the country, which lies nestled in Ukraine's embrace, but rather to annex the current small country, with a population of about 1.5 million and Chisinau as its capital, to Romania. This, of course, does not mean that Moldovans, the majority of whom are native Romanian speakers, will suddenly wake up to find that their capital is no longer Chisinau but Bucharest, and that they have returned home to the mother nation. The bill has now been sent to the Senate, which will make the final decision, but preparations are already underway for a referendum, which is, of course, supported by both Romanian President Nicu Cerdan and Moldovan President Maia Sandu. But what's even more interesting is that this news didn't cause a stir in the mainstream press either. I, for one, learned about it from the newsletter of a conservative Slovak website. This is interesting precisely because the introduction to the Standard article is particularly revealing. I won't even say it's blunt. Here's what they write, word for word. Historical Moldova is inhabited by ethnic Romanians who speak Romanian on both sides of the Moldovan-Romanian border. The division of Moldova into two countries is the result of a historical injustice. The lower house has taken the first step toward redressing this. This is written by a moderate news outlet, one that is, moreover, Slovak. And indeed, and yet, how is this possible? Historical injustice? Redress? The terms are familiar, but it matters who says them and who spreads them, and to whom they apply. The bill itself was submitted by the opposition party SOS Romania on April 14th, but since it was not debated and was not rejected and 45 days have passed, it was automatically silently approved on June 24th. This legislative procedure, which is unprecedented in Europe, is, incidentally, provided for in Article 75 of the Romanian Constitution. In the upper house, there is no longer tacit approval. A vote must be held there. The Romanian Parliament's website states, "The Romanian Parliament makes a decision on the unification of Romania and the Republic of Moldova, period." Just imagine the outcry that would erupt in Bucharest if the Hungarian Parliament were to pass a bill allowing Transylvania, which was unjustly annexed, to be reunited with Hungary? Horrible dictu. What a tsunami of outrage would it cause in Bratislava if the reintegration of Salakaz, Bodrogaz, or Gomer into the motherland were even discussed? Let's ask the question just hypothetically. And what an uproar that would cause in Brussels and Strasbourg. After all, Romania's move didn't elicit so much as a whisper from the Brussels Politburo, the European Commission, and the European Parliament isn't even making an effort to hold a debate on the matter. Perhaps this is entirely legitimate, lawful, and just in the eyes of the European Union. What is outrageous about this is that others cannot even entertain the thought of a similar endeavor. It is unimaginable even at the level of intention. Meanwhile, the violations of rights committed by the successor states that received vast territories from Hungary, as well as the atrocities and injustices suffered by Hungarians living in minority communities, never reached the European Union's threshold of concern. Moldova, like Transcarpathia, was once part of the Soviet Union. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Moldova became independent and found itself, on the one hand, facing Romania. On one hand, bordering it, and on the other, nestled within Ukraine, yet still under Russian influence. The two regions aren't in the same category, but perhaps we still remember that a referendum was held in Transcarpathia in 1991, which would have granted the region autonomy. But that was a long time ago, of course, and besides, who cares about the Hungarians in Transcarpathia? And the rest of them? True, Romania is a member of the European Union, while Ukraine will not become one in the foreseeable future. The West considers Romania one of its favorites anyway, while Hungary, regardless of changes in government, is Europe's pariah, one that must be kept on a short leash.